Hey everyone, welcome again to Reinvent Her Live Talk with Marian. And today, guys, we're going to be talking about the reality of college life. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. So glad that you're here. So, tonight we are so honored to have some phenomenal young people who are making a mark in life, who are doing something positive. So, I would like to do first Kayla. Kayla Jackson. Kayla, could you tell the audience something about yourself and all the marvelous things that you're doing?
Hi, my name's Kayla. I'm 21. I just graduated college in May. I went to USC Upstate. It's in Spartanburg. Right now, I'm working as an intern with a law firm while I'm studying for my LSAT. I plan to take that in October, and when I pass, I'll be going to law school in the fall.
Oh, that is phenomenal. Kudos. So
Thank
proud of
you.
you, hon, what you're doing with your life. Our next guest that we're going to introduce to you tonight, doing phenomenal, marvelous things, trying to be an agent of change in the world today, is Jarett Jenkins. Would you like to share with the audience something about yourself?
Hi, everybody. My name is Jarett. I graduated last year with my criminal justice degree. So I'm planning on going into the force. Well, not the force, but like uh, police. Like that type of area, and probably move up through type FBI, CIA type thing, and I stream full time on Twitch.
Okay, well, thank you. I'm so proud of what you're doing. It takes a lot in this generation to do what you guys are doing to push against the grain and still proceed with your education. The next person I would like to introduce is Mr. Eric Ferguson. Mr. Ferguson, would you like to share something with the audience about yourself?
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Eric. I'm a 21-year-old senior at the University of South Carolina with a double major in business management and marketing, and I have a minor in pre-law. And I do want to attend law school next fall as I took the LSAT last about 2 weeks ago.
Wow. Mm. Hey guys, I'm going to applaud you guys. So proud of what you are doing in your life, that you're taking charge of your life at an early age. So proud of you. Now, let me just start. I'm just going to jump right in with the questions, okay? Have you ever felt overwhelmed that because you're in college, you feel like there's a lot on your plate? Have you ever felt that? Any one of you guys can jump in.
Okay. I guess I'll go first. Yeah, I've definitely felt overwhelmed being in college. I feel like it's in general a lot because you're having to deal with keeping up with your classes, and then in college it's kind of like the time when you're figuring out your life, like figuring out who you are, what you're going to do next, if you even want to do what you're doing, and if not, you have to figure out what you want to do before you get too far behind, and it's like you've wasted all this time. So in general, all of that's overwhelming, and then you're also trying to just enjoy it because you know that after those 4 years, you kind of have to get right into life and be serious. And well, at least that's what they tell you. But yeah, that's like how you're supposed to plan out your life. So I think it's overwhelming,
Well, that's
but
good.
enjoy it.
So, what about you, Eric? Have you ever actually felt overwhelmed? Like, this is a lot on my plate, man. I'm trying to achieve all these things. Have you ever felt overwhelmed just by college life as a whole?
Yeah, just exactly what Kayla said. Just trying to manage having a social life and managing your academics and being involved on campus and doing so many things. It can be a lot trying to manage it all and just like making sure you have the time to do everything. It can be a lot. Yes, definitely.
Wow. Mm-mm-mm. So, what about you, Jared? Tell us your experience with how it just all seemingly like it just, uh, I will say, come down on you sometime all at once.
Well, it's funny because as an athlete, everybody says it's supposed to be easier for you, but I feel like being an athlete made it so much harder because I had to still compete and still had to be the top, top 1% person I could be on the court and off the court. And most, you would think most teachers or most schools would like help their athletes more because they play for the school, but most schools don't really, not gonna say they don't care, but most schools don't care because it's not making them. If if you're not a winning team, and you're not making the money, so at the end of the day, you're just another person on the campus. So I feel like that's what made it more overwhelming than anything is not being
Trying to
able to
juggle,
yeah,
trying to be good at two things, maybe three or four things at one time.
exactly, yeah.
Wow. So, mm. So, what advice would you give a young person who's considering attending college? What advice would you give a young person right now? They say, you know what, I'm thinking about going to college. That seems like that's something that I would help further my education along. What advice would you give them, Jarett?
Well, if you're my family member and you're telling me you want to go to college, I would tell you to do it because you want to do it and not because you think that's something that's cool, or you think that'll make somebody else happy, or you think that'll be do it because that's something that you want to do, because at the end of the day there's nobody there to wake you up and tell you to go to school. So if you don't go to class, you don't go to class, and nobody's gonna, so there's no repercussions to anything besides you getting kicked out. So if you don't want to do it, or if you're doing it for somebody else, don't do it.
Don't do it. Kayla, what advice would you give a young person who's considering, I think I'm going to go to college? What would you say to them?
Um, Advice that I wish I had before I went.
That's great. Tell me the advice that you wish you had. That's great.
Mostly the biggest one I would say is do your research about what school you're going to go to. Like I did my research about the school I went to, but I think if I could change anything about it, I would have chosen an HBCU over the school I went to, because I went to CWI. Not that it was bad, because living on campus, it definitely felt like a like a
It felt
HBCU.
like what?
It definitely felt like a HBCU, but it wasn't compared to what an HBCU is actually like. So I think that's the little bit of advice I would give.
Hmm. Each of you are sharing something different. Eric, what advice would you give a young person who's considering attending college?
Just making sure it is what you want to do, and figure out what you want to do early, figure out what you like. You don't want to be, there's nothing wrong with being in college for 6 years, but it can be very expensive. And if you don't know what you want to do while you're there, it can be very easy to end up in college for like closer to 5, 6 years. And you just want to make sure you're using your time wisely.
Wow. So has time management been an issue for any of you? How you been able to handle your time? How have you handled your time management? Being able to go to juggle school, have time for friends, have time for social life, to have time for your studies. How have you been able to juggle um, and to manage your time? Let's start with you, Jarett.
Um, Honestly, it was difficult being able to do all that, to juggle it. But sometimes you just don't have time for certain things. If you're trying to get somewhere in life, you don't have time for. Maybe you don't have time to hang out every Saturday or Friday, or to hang out with your friends and go out. You don't. So if you want to succeed and you want to be better, sometimes you don't have time.
Wow. Sometimes you don't have time, and that comes with making a choice. What's more important to you right then? Me furthering my education, or me hanging out? So, yeah,
Right.
that does come with maturity to know
Right.
what to do and what not to do. So, let me ask you this question also. Do you think college students of other race have an advantage over the African American students?
In
Anyone?
this,
Eric, let's start with you.
Um, I feel like just in the position they may be in, possibly for a certain, I thought that depends on the person, honestly. I mean, with college, you have to put in the work regardless of who you are, or what you look like, honestly. But yeah, just
That was
you have to
good
put
what
in
you
the
say.
work.
You got to put in the work.
Yeah, you got to put in the work, whoever you are. There are definitely some people who are in better positions than others. They may have parents that pay for this, or they may have people to do this for them, but it's just important to, keep the main thing the main thing.
Keep the main thing the main thing. That's critical. So, Jerry, do you think other college students of other races have an advantage over the African American college students? Do you think they have an
no,
advantage?
No, I totally agree with what Eric said. I definitely agree with that. No matter what your race or your colors, you still got to put the work in to get the results that you want. Even though, like he said, you might have people that have parents that will pay So I agree. I totally agree with Eric said.
You got to put in the work. It's no it's no way around that. You're gonna have to do the studying, and you're gonna have to do the sacrificing, everything that it encompasses to be a great student. You're gonna have to put it in. Wow.
Yes.
For someone who doesn't have an idea of what they want to do in the long term, what do you think they should take in college? They want to go to college, but they don't know what they want to be. How would you direct them? I want to go to college, but I'm not sure. I want to take this. I want to take that. And I think it's wasting your parents' money. But anyway, what, but what would you tell that person? They're not sure. I want to go to college, but I'm just going to college. What would you tell them? They don't have an idea what they want to do.
I guess I would major in interdisciplinary studies. That's the major.
What is that called again?
It's called interdisciplinary studies.
What is that about?
It's not really one major. You kind of just take a bulk of classes in different areas, different majors, and you kind of graduate with a general degree, and then it allows you to do most things because you have a bachelor's degree. But yeah, it's not like you're focused on one major, so you could take criminal justice classes, whereas you could also take psychology classes, sociology classes. It's kind of just a broad, like kind of like a broad spectrum kind of thing. I feel like that would be a better option.
So when you say it's almost like a general degree. So you really, so do you think that would set that person up to be for financial freedom? Eric, just getting a basic degree, how would you think that will pan out with their life in just going to college to get the basics?
Again, it depends on what they want to do. There are certain professions where you have to have that degree in order to just put a foot in the door, and there are other professions where you don't need to have a high school degree, and both people can be very successful. So
again, let's go back to when you were just saying you still got to put in the work. Nonetheless, you still got. Do you feel financial cost to go to college is worth the investment? Like the courses that you guys would take for your future, do you think the money that you're paying? Do you think that is worth the investment that you're putting in now?
I definitely think so. Just because in general, having an education is like one of the greatest investments you can make. Just because no one can take away the knowledge that you gain. Like in the aspect, it doesn't matter what you major in or where you get your education from, whether it's community college or an Ivy League school. Like no one can take that education from you. So I don't necessarily think that it's about how much money it's worth. I feel like that's another. Yeah.
Eric, what do you feel about your? Because I know in order for you guys to complete the courses in which you guys are going in to achieve the level of success that you want in life. How do you feel about your investments in your time, your studies, your sacrifice, all that you have contributed thus far?
I feel like just attending a university in general was well worth it. Education is so important, but even beyond that, you gain so much from attending a university. I've got lifelong friends. I have connections that I plan on using after I graduate. All stemming from my university. So I think it's well worth the investment.
Beautiful. And I like the fact that you are meeting people of all culture. And I think it's so critical in our life that we are cultured, that we know how to deal with other people, other ethnicities. And we're learning their experiences, which help us grow and become more. So I think that is important that we continue to expand ourselves with other cultures. So important. Well, do you feel a college education is necessary to succeed in the world today? Any one of you guys can jump in.
No.
Definitely
There's
not.
too many. There's too many successful people without college degrees for anybody to really say that. There's too many.
And then
True.
defined differently by a lot of different people. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what one person considers as successful may not be what another person considers as success. So we all have our own like constraints to that. So, yeah.
Yeah, good, good, good. So, Eric, is something that you're saying about, I think it's critical, guys, while you out and about and you meeting different people, is to establish relationships. Very important for your future, because having favor with men. So when you guys get ready to go out to do different things, it is always good to know someone in those areas that you can just say, hey, man, I need a favor. Could you give me a
Right.
hookup or the connection to get me in the door? So that's critical. So relationships are very important while you out there. So did you feel pressure from your family or parent to attend college? Kayla, did you feel pressure?
No, I didn't really feel any pressure. My mom just kind of was like, if that's something you want to do, then do it. I think I felt pressure from myself because I'm one of those people that's like, I've always had a plan for the ways that I want my life to work out and what I have to do. So I think I was kind of the person pushing myself mostly. But yeah, no bad pressure.
So it's like you were saying, your competition or became within yourself to do what you
Yeah.
wanted to do. I think that's excellent. You were living life on your own terms.
Mhm.
So that's great. So looking back, mm, what would you say uh, that when you went to college, did you feel that you were mature enough, or you grew up while you were in college? Well, we always still growing. We always still becoming. But when you went to college, what are some of those things that you had to let go of to become the person you are today? Let's go. Eric, what did you have to, because you're just leaving home. So I know you had to drop off some things. Could you share with us?
I guess the main thing for me was just making sure my time management was what it needed to be. I was always, I mean, kind of, I guess, good with time, but in college, you really have to be great with time because you make your own schedule. You say when you're going to be certain places, and you have certain responsibilities where you have to be certain places. So you got to really know how to manage that time. It's only 24 hours in a day.
So when you went, I understand you said that you were able to manage your time, but there were some things that you had to make some adjustments.
Yes, yes.
Would you like to share one?
Okay. Well, definitely with pledging my frat, that took over my life for a semester, honestly. But performed well in school. I still got the I still had maintained my GPA, everything like that. But just doing that really took a lot of my time, and I found out how valuable time really was. I felt like I was doing something every second of the day. So
So at that, so now I can understand why you could have felt overwhelmed when every second of your time was taken doing something. So
yeah.
I'm going to ask you this, Jarett. Looking back, would you say you were ready in the sense of maturity? And what are some of the things that you had to let go of? Leaving
Um,
home and you're going to college and you expect to grow up quick now. So share with us.
well,
Were you ready?
no, I definitely wasn't ready for that at all. Cause me being the thing was I was an athlete and I was actually a good one. So like people were coming to watch me play and I had mad like so girls would come and that's what would be messing me up because I would be so focused on the girls coming and not actually trying to get better.
Excuse me, you was focused on what?
I was too focused on the girls coming to the games, so I couldn't focus on on what was really important, which was basketball and studies. So that's what I feel like I wasn't ready for. Cause and then when you're at school, you got your own place, you got your own stuff. So I just had to readjust and get
Gotcha.
back.
You had to juggle some things around and
Yeah,
learn what to let go of, what was
right.
important. Or like Eric said, make the main thing the main thing. So, it's okay. Kayla, what would you say was some of the things looking back were you ready, in the sense of maturity when you enter into college? What some things you had to like level up with?
Yeah, I think I was like prepared academically because I had already like went to a school that kind of prepared me for that. But I think when it came to just in general, like making life decisions, I wasn't like at first I would call my mom for everything, like things that you need to be able to do by yourself, and I would just it was like awful at one point. But those things, I think definitely time management. Like I was working, and then I was also involved in activities and having class, and then interning and all this at once, and I would just be stretching myself really thin. So
Wow.
definitely learning how to manage my time, learning when to take a break, learning when to like, kind of relax, like organizing the sleep schedule and all that. I kind of learned how to do all that on my own. So,
Well, you guys are giving great advice here tonight. I think we're all going to sit underneath you guys and y'all can teach us. So let's ask this question. Who has been your greatest support throughout your college career? Who has been your greatest support? Kayla?
my mom, she's
Okay.
always been supportive. Yeah, she's like there immediately whenever I need her. Like even when I had to study or I'd be crying or freaking out about something because I didn't know how to figure something out, she would just sit on the phone and listen to me and then be like, "Okay, now that that's done, let's figure out how we can solve this problem." So definitely my mom.
Beautiful. Mr. Ferguson, who would you say has been your greatest support throughout your college?
Definitely, but definitely my parents. They've helped me in every aspect of it. I feel like I said, I feel like I'm more grounded on the academic side, but they make sure I'm good in every other way. So definitely my parents.
Your parents. Beautiful. Okay, Jared, who would you say has been your greatest support throughout your college career?
I want to say me. I feel like
No, you, you have to.
I,
Listen. No man is an island. There's always someone in the corner pushing and cheering you on. Okay, go ahead.
okay.
Which would you like to? Okay, okay. I'm just gonna take it your word.
I'm because I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna say nobody was. It was me. I'm having.
Okay. Well, I have to just listen. You're the one making. No, let me. I'm kind of gonna kind of play. Tell me, what are you most passionate about right now, Eric? What are you most passionate about?
Ooh, that's a that's a deep question. What am I most passionate about?
Yes.
I guess just trying to establish my right now, trying to establish my future. Uh, like I said, I took the LSAT a couple of weeks ago. Just waiting on those results. Just I'm really focused on trying to make sure I'm good with that. So I'm ready to go to that next step because I do want to go to law school. So just making sure I'm ready for the next step. Really,
Wow. What kind of law are you interested in?
I'm not completely sure yet. I like certain aspects of business law. I like certain aspects of criminal law. So I really want to dig deeper into that and find that out.
Okay, beautiful. Whatever your endeavors are, we wish you well. I'm sure that you will achieve your goal that you're working toward. Kayla, could you tell us what are you most passionate about?
I guess I would definitely say what he said, establishing my future, kind of setting a ground, like a base level for me to, I guess, start running. Definitely also kind of figuring out who I am. Not that I don't know who I am, but I guess figuring out who I am as far as what I will mean to the next part of my life and to the next part of this, like the world that I exist in. All of that, making sure that I'm completely, solid about what I want to do and where I want to be and how, like the impact that I want to have. That's really big for me.
Okay, Jared,
Yes.
let me tell you, if you were president of the United States, what would be something you would want to change right now?
If I was president of the United States,
Yes. What would be
um,
something you would want to change right now?
uh, shit, I couldn't even. Maybe. Nah, I couldn't even. I couldn't even think of it. I couldn't even.
Okay, if you think of it while we're talking, you can always. Oh, I got it. Eric,
Okay.
if you were president of the USA, what would be something you would want to change right now?
Um, there's a lot of things that I could change, but I mean, I guess I would try to like just an issue I can think of that's kind of bad in my area, Columbia. Homelessness is kind of like it's a large issue there. You see a lot of homeless people around there. So I guess just trying to make initiatives or like programs to like for more housing for the less fortunate and things like that. That'd probably be my focus.
Well, then that means you have compassion.
Yeah.
Kayla, if you were the first female president of the USA, what would you what would you want to change? What is something you would want to change?
Okay. I only have two things. I won't say the list, but I think I would make college free for
You would make
everyone.
college free?
Yeah, I know that's like easier said than done, and it's kind of happening already, but for everyone on a global scale, I think, not global scale, but as far as the states, I would make that a thing. I think I would also come up with some type of bill or something that protects Black and Brown people when they're discriminated against violently and or otherwise.
Wow, that's beautiful. Hey, I like the fact that you guys, let me ask you, how optimistic are you for the future? Eric,
As far as like,
in the midst of everything that's going on around us right now and the way the world is, and all the chaotic things that are going on around us, well, let's say, how hopeful you for the future?
I feel like there's a lot of major change happening right now, and there are things are getting better, but things stay the same as well too. I don't want to be in the gray area with all these answers, but it's just
No,
really
no,
how
your answers are
it's
how
how
you
I feel.
feel.
Like,
So,
yeah, just basically like we have great like things happening with law, more protections for people, all type of things, but there's also hate and violence and all type of other things going on still. So I mean, we just gotta.
wow. Kayla, what about you?
I think if I did have any optimism, it would be in I
Are
guess
you
in the next,
optimistic concerning the future?
yeah, it would be in the next generations, I guess, and the like people that are, coming up next that would be in charge of changing things that is happening in our future, like changing laws and actually making a difference. I feel like my optimism would be placed in them and in that um, concept, I think. Not necessarily in the future in general, but I feel like that's about people actually being able to make that change happen. So that's what my optimism would be.
Wow. Wow. So, Jarett, what is your long-term career goal?
My long term career goal
Mm-hmm.
to be a full time streamer on Twitch.
You know what I thought about for you, Jarett? I know this is what I had thought about, and I told you, because I know you do gaming sometime. I
Mhm.
thought that perhaps that you need to begin to develop those games. I don't know if you ever thought about that, but
Yeah.
that has been my thought toward you, that you begin to develop those games. So I think that's an open door for you. I'm just
Mhm.
sharing that with you right now. So I think if you go in that direction, I think you're going to see some leeway, and perhaps you might can collaborate with Eric, and perhaps Eric might know someone. Perhaps Eric might know someone that can also give you some guidance and information. But that's for you. I'm telling you. I don't know. Have you considered that? Have that been a thought?
Yes, and yeah, it's always been a thought. Like ever since I was little, I've wanted to do something like that. But when I went to school and I seen the process of of like making it, I'd rather be the guy like telling you how to do it on the computer than being the one actually doing it on the computer. If that makes sense.
Sure, it does. I mean, it's just long as I just see you in that field. So
Yes, I would.
whatever role that you play in that, I'll say go for that because that is an open door for you.
I would
Just
definitely.
okay. All right. I know that's a little side note. So, Eric, what is your long term goals career goal looks like, feel like?
I guess just getting to a point where I guess I can really help others. I do want to be an attorney, and I want to make, I do want to make my money, of course, but I do want to get to a point where I'm good on that. I'm financially stable, and I'm in a position to help other people. I really do want to get to that point.
Okay, now since I'm listening to you, you have shared a couple of things tonight, and I hear compassion coming from you, helping people. So even in that direction, that is something that, see, because your speech kind of reveals a direction and a heart. So I hear the heart of you speaking tonight, that you want to reach out even for the homeless. When I heard you say the homeless, so you do have other people in mind. So yeah, you're going to do great in that field. But also I'm going to say with you that I think your heart is big. So I'm not going to say bring it in a little, but I'm going to say bring it in a little, because with oh my goodness, because with a big heart like that, sometimes you can find yourself with your hands in many different things, because
Oh
the
yeah,
heart is big. So I'm going to say with you tonight, to, you know what I mean, so you can get focused and not let the heart take you,
Mhm.
because you see the need and you want to help and you want to meet the need. Okay, that's a side note. Okay, let's get back to these questions. Oh my God. So for someone, I don't want to really ask that question. So I know being in college, and I know you meet other people. So are you guys in a relationship? Who want to start? Okay, let's start with you, Jarett. Are you in a relationship? Because you know
No,
college, all the fine girls there.
exactly.
And Kayla, you know all the fine guys there. They're looking at how beautiful you are. How have you guys been able to contain and manage yourself without the distraction? Jarett!
I've always been on a mission, so
Oh,
that
wait. Back up. You always been on a mission?
yes,
Okay, what kind of mission?
to better myself.
Oh, God.
You
Okay.
heard before?
All right, then, Kayla. Jarett said he's been on a mission, okay, to better himself. So, Kayla, I know being a beautiful, attractive young lady as you are, smart and savvy. So, I'm sure you have had some challenges. How have you been able to manage those?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess everyone would have challenges. But I mean, I never let those like get in the way of my school. So like school's one thing, and then when I'm done with school, like whatever else is happening can happen after. But I've always been the type of person that can separate those two like pretty good, and I make sure there's a clear line between them. Like when I'm doing schoolwork or when I'm studying or when I have things that are important to me, like those things come first, and then everything else can come second or third or whatever.
Got it. Eric, how
Okay.
have
Yeah,
you been able to manage to stay focused with all the distraction that's out there?
just like I said earlier, keeping the main thing the main thing. Really, that's it. There's plenty. Yeah, there are a lot of distractions, of course. There are plenty, but just making sure you. I know I'm at USC to get a degree, so I'm getting that degree.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I know things are going to come at me, and I know things are trying to distract my attention, but I'm going to stay focused. I'm going to get what I came here for, and then after that, because there's always an after.
Mhm.
So that's important. What do you wish you would have known, or you wish you knew that nobody told you? What do you wish you knew that nobody told you, Jarett?
Uh, at the end of the day, it's your life, so you better pick what you want to do and stop listening to everybody tell you what to do.
Ooh, I like that. Kayla, what do you wish you knew that nobody told you?
I kind of already had like cousins and etc. that went to college, so like most things they told me, but I would say like nobody told me how much ramen noodles I would eat or how like sometimes I would just have to eat like not to eat, but like sometimes I would just be so broke, it would be like really sad or that. Yeah, those things. Or I guess no one told me like how much how like I guess how much people really aren't in college to actually do college things or be, I guess, like we were talking about, like be successful or kind of get out of there in the next 4 years. Like some people are really just there to waste their time, and those people are really good at distracting you. So I guess nobody told me about those things.
Yes, Eric, I think I asked you this question. Are you guys concerned about debt?
Yes.
Because since college is expensive, and I think what you guys are going toward, are you concerned about having astronomical amount of debt when you complete your career? Anybody concerned about that, and how do they expect to handle that so they don't be overwhelmed by debt? Or are you, I don't know, how do you feel about that, Jared?
Uh, I was on scholarship, so I don't really have any debt.
That's
Okay,
great, actually.
Yeah, I
that
was,
is great. So what about you, Kayla? Are you concerned about the debt? Because before you even get started, you got all this amount of astronomical amount of money facing you. Are you concerned about that for the future?
Slightly. I mean, I know it's something that I'll have to deal with eventually, but I think right now, being that I'm going back to school so soon, I can't even really think about it because it's just going to keep adding up. I did have some scholarships, etc., but I do know that I'm going to be paying it back a good amount. But it's some like when you think about it, I think, and when you're constantly like allowing yourself to worry about it, it's easy to worry about it. But I just kind of keep thinking about the fact that there's like an end goal, and then eventually I'll be able to pay it back. So.
And Kayla, when you said something earlier, when you say you were trying to find yourself, I really understood that. I meant to interject something at that moment when you said, I'm trying to uh, find myself. As you continue in your studies and in your education and your thinking pattern in which you are in now, yeah, you'll begin to unfold. The more of you will begin to emerge. The woman, the young lady that is destined for your life, she will arise. I think it'll just happen naturally and gradually as you go towards your study and staying focused. I know you'll get there. And one thing I want to say to each one of you guys, I think you guys all have a spirit of humility about you. Even though you are achieving great things or you're going forth to a higher education, a higher standard of living in life, I love your humility. So I'll say hold on to that. That's part of your key for your success. Very much so. So, did you face any challenges in college that you felt like you weren't quite ready for? Did you face any challenges that you felt you weren't ready for? Jerry?
mm, the challenges I really faced was with me because I felt like since I was so good, I didn't have to do certain things to uphold my standard of being so good. So I really had to let God smack me back down to earth to realize that it don't matter how good you are, you still got to put in that work.
So you were saying because you were smart, you felt that you didn't have to study, you felt that you didn't have to, so that means a lot of
And
things you took for granted because you felt that you already had it.
that and me being, like I said, me being good, I felt like maybe I didn't have to go to class that day, or that teacher was at the game. He saw me just score 25. He know I might need help on the test. That type of stuff, I feel like I shouldn't have took advantage of, and I should have stayed in humility with that.
So did that affect your academics
Yeah.
because you
Yes.
thought that the sports was more
And
important than the education?
yes.
Got you. But you had an awakening.
Yes, good awakening, good one. Right,
Oh,
right.
so Eric, what about you? What challenges did you face as a young person in college? What some of the challenges that you face?
I guess just realizing the workload in high school. I wasn't all. I felt like I breezed through high school. I was an all A student. It wasn't anything difficult, and I find myself in my first semester of college trying to get a C in the class, and that
Wow.
it never happened to me. So like,
So did you go in with a sense of arrogancy and cockiness?
oh yeah, I thought I knew it all, but I was able to actually pull out I think a B in that class, and I have a 3.7 GPA, so I feel like I'm doing pretty good at the moment.
Beautiful, beautiful. Again, let's go back. We got to put in the work. So
Exactly.
nothing just happens. That's a fact. What about you, Kayla? What has been some of the challenges that you have faced?
I guess looking back overall, I never really paid attention to how much I procrastinate. I think that was something I really had to shake because for a while I would just do my work at the last minute because in high school I could do my work at the last minute and I'd be fine. I could like write a paper in like an hour before it's due and then be done and then I'd be okay. But in college I would do that at first and then eventually as like I got into my like junior senior year I realized that like if I keep doing that I'm going to fail. So I
Fail.
kind of have to
Mm-hmm.
retrain myself and teach myself how to like you know force myself to do the work kind of. So that mostly. Another thing, being away from family and like seeing all the things that I miss, like birthdays and all like events, and then I'm just at school in my room watching everybody have fun. That was kind of but yeah.
Okay. So so you guys are helping some young people and maybe even elderly people, older people who think about going back to college that you might have aced it here, but when you get into college, it's a new game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So why did you select the college that you did, Eric? Why did you select the school that you attend now? Why did you select that school?
Well, both of my parents are graduates from the University of South Carolina, so I kind of had an idea that I was going to be in South Carolina from like when I was in middle school. But I guess just applying to schools, I did apply to a couple other schools. I got into a couple. I didn't get into a couple. So I guess I could say I ended up at USC.
So apparently you like the college that you're attending. Apparently, so Kayla, why did you select the school that you attended?
I mostly because it was like close to home, but not too close to home, so it was like right in
Oh,
between.
okay. I want that. I'm gonna come back to that. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, because I, like he said, like I applied at a couple schools and I got in a couple different ones, but I think that, like looking at USC Upstate last minute and kind of thinking about the major I was going to go into and the program, one, it had a really good, they have a really good criminal justice program, and it kind of set me up for internships like in the area, not just at the school, but overall, like it helped with that. So, all of that and.
Okay. Well, let me throw this behind that because sometime when we select colleges, sometimes we want to go away from home. Was that any of you guys? You couldn't wait to get away from home, Eric?
Couldn't wait.
Well, I probably wouldn't be the best person to answer this question just because I went to the university that was 2 blocks away from where I grew up. So, but so my mom is. I see my mom all the time. I see my parents all the time. But and that has its benefits. But no, I definitely could see the benefits with going farther away and having that freedom. And I still have that freedom, but it is different knowing that I'm still in Columbia.
Jared, why did you choose to go to college away from home?
Um, honestly, I didn't really.
Yes.
Honestly, I didn't really have a problem with going away. It's just the offers that I got, in like I got the offers that I got weren't the offers that I wanted, and that wasn't the only school that offered me, but that was the only school that made it that easy.
So that's why you chose to go out of state.
Yeah, because I was lazy.
Okay.
Honestly, be honest, get a little lazy. Get a little
Oh my
lazy.
God. Okay. Listen, it's um. Mm. So did you feel pressure? I guess even your guys, none of you guys felt pressure from your families to go to the school that you attended. You made your own choice. Is that what you guys saying?
Yes.
Okay, you made the choice on where you would like to attend college. So, guys, as we join near to the close of this segment, I want to thank you again for being part of the show tonight. And this is the first I've done a show with young people, which I think I'm going to do this again with another group of young people and bring you guys back after you guys establish yourself in your future and to come and share again with other people. What would you like to close out our segment tonight, Jarett, speaking to the young people or to anyone that want to go back to school? What would you say?
If you want to go back to school, really, really think and really try to, I would say, if you really want to go back to school, just to go back to school, I would say just go get a job and try to live a little bit before and try to figure out who you are before you go back, because you're just paying $100,000 to figure out who you are at that point. So
Wow,
it's
that's an
like,
expensive lesson, isn't it?
right. So I would, like I said, figure it out first if you don't know yet. But if you're just going for the experience, go to a community college. You could possibly get the same. You don't have to go to a high, a big school to get the experience. But figure it out first. Meditate on it. Don't just jump into it.
Got ya. Kayla, what would you like to say?
I would say overall, just like he was saying, like we've been saying pretty much all night. Just kind of make sure that it's something that you want to do, and then once you've decided on that, 'cause no one can really decide that for you. I guess just go in expecting that it's not going to be anything like what high school was or whatever school that you went to before. Expect it to be totally different. I would say definitely do your research about the school and about activities, etc., about the area your school is in, because in some cases, some schools can be like the best school you could go to, but the area around it can be a pretty bad like neighborhood or area, etc. And you just kind of want to be prepared and protect yourself. So definitely that. And then just be open to like new people, new ideas. You're gonna meet a lot of different people, and you're gonna experience like a lot of different cultures and a lot of different personalities. So I guess being open to that. That's what I would say.
Eric, what would you like to say to someone who's considering going back to school and or even starting school? What would you like to say to them to inspire them to continue their education?
I'd just say figure out what you're good at, because most of the time people like to do things that they are good at. So if there's a way for you to attend a university and you have an interest in graphic design, or you like to speak or you like to write, just pursue that and put in the work, and it'll turn out good.
It'll turn out good. So, since we're in the 21st century and jobs opportunities are changing frequently, do you think the direction in which you're going will make you equipped for the 21st century, that you can be in demand? Eric?
I'd say yes, just because we are in a technology age, and I've had two full semesters of college online, so I'm well versed in doing Zoom meetings and meeting online, and I feel like that is a big part of the future, and there's going to be a part of the many workforces in like almost every sector of the workforce. So just I feel like it's preparing me for the real world really good.
Because I have this, I want to ask this question. Do each of you guys have a trade that you can do on the side? Just say, for instance, I'm going to call it a side hustle. Do you have a trade that you can do manually, electrician or plumbing? Do you guys, none of you guys have trades like that? You don't feel it's necessary to have those kind of other kind of skills? Do you think, what are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, definitely. When I was in college, like all 4 years, I knew many people that would do like eyelashes, hair, makeup, nails, etc. So I think it's definitely important to have a trade, and I feel like it's also smart because if you have a trade like that and you go to a school that allows you to kind of do it in your own living space, it makes it easy for you to kind of have your own business and make your money while you're also,
Moving
into work.
towards your dream.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. So that I just because that's just something I just threw out there. Maybe might be something that you guys might consider um, for the future. Just having another side hustle. I mean, I'm not saying that you should do that, but I just threw that out there. Okay, guys. So I want to say to you guys, may you continue in your dreams and your success. May everything your hands touch, may it be blessed. May you continue to soar in life and become the greater you that you can be, and not let anyone tell you who you can be and what you can accomplish. So, with that, I want to thank you guys for being here tonight, for sharing your heart, and for sharing with the world the reality of college. If you had to go back over this all again, would you do it again, Eric?
Yes, I would.
You would do it again. Kayla, if you had to go through everything you've been through, the good, bad, the ugly, the indifferent, would you do it again?
Yeah.
Jarett, in spite of all that you have faced and going through in life, would you do it again the same way that you did it now?
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing is everybody is saying no regrets. So, and that's how I want you to live your life. All the experiences that no regrets, that whatever I went through, it was part of my learning experience for life. And the people that you come across in your life, the people that you meet in your connections that you're meeting, there's a purpose why God brought them into your life. So I want you, and guys, can I just say this? Please stay with Christ. Keep Christ first in your life and I want to admonish you guys, this is a side note, is I need you guys to read the book of Proverbs. Could y'all do that for me? That's my homework assignment. And you can do it in your time. I just want you to pick that book up and begin to read it, because that book is full of wisdom and knowledge. And I believe it'll save you a lot of heartaches in life if you pick up the book of Proverbs and begin to read it. Okay, guys? I thank you. I love you with all of my heart.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Thank you.
until the
Thank you
next
so much.
time, continue to soar.